Welcome back, everybody, to Star Wars The Force Unleashed. We are doing some Talk to Transformers, or some kind of, synth? Text synth or something?
Yes.
It's predicting a story for us from a prompt that we give it. So
before I start this one,
okay.
do you want me to hit more and extend it a little bit? Because I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, hit more. Hit more as much as you can.
Okay.
That's a lot of mores, dude.
Okay.
It'll be Shakti. Hell yeah.
Shakti.
Shakti.
Shakti Day.
So,
I'm gonna. That's three. That's three. The first one and two more mores. So we're gonna go with this for now. Jar Jar put the gun to his head, and the scene went from ominous to hilarious after he dropped his gun and opened fire. The movie's director says he wanted to make a fun movie that, quote, didn't make anyone feel sorry for Jar Jar, which is what it's been all along. That is not hyperbole. Lucas says, it was very difficult to make this movie because we really wanted to get it into people's minds, and they would want to see it. That's what we wanted. In the movie, Jar Jar has a wife and 3 children. The problem is that they are the only ones. One of them, Princess Leia, who is at a party with her father and uncle at a farm, has been kidnapped, possibly by the 3PO gang.
What?
Her father tells the young Jedi to help the princess because Princess Leia has some knowledge about the 3PO. The gang decides to capture Leia and send her back to the planet where she was kidnapped. What Princess Leia gets the 3PO is that Jar Jar is now the rightful heir to the throne of Naboo.
Oh, boy.
So far, so good. It's time for an update, though. It's an interesting movie. I'm always surprised at how easy it is for me to appreciate a movie from a technical and philosophical standpoint. I guess that's why my rating is 1.5, and it's the lowest I've ever been.
Jesus.
That was a ride. That was a fun ride.
Uh,
I like how it starts so grim, but then it's like, oh, just kidding, LOL.
The scene went from ominous to hilarious after he dropped his gun and opened fire.
It's a great start to anything. Yeah. Ominous to hilarious.
So good. I have one that I moored a couple times as well.
Give it to me.
The prompt was Chopa no Timo munched on his freshly made porg meat pie when he noticed a Starkiller looking at the nearby moon. So we'll go from there then. Chopa no Timo munched on his freshly made porg meat pie when he noticed Starkiller looking at the nearby moon colony in the distance. He was a bit worried since his own colony was being attacked. Since he was an innocent prisoner, he needed to show some respect towards the prisoners. Ha! The guard replied as he walked up to his prisoner. Oh, what did you say? Starkiller inquired again. What is it? Do you know what kind of food I eat? One of the guards asked. It's hard work. I think you will enjoy my meals. Sithy, after a second, asked again, but when he still couldn't find any reply from the guard, he asked again. What will you eat? He inquired. I have no idea, but I will enjoy yours, yes, the guard replied calmly. I'm just going to sit here for a bit, Starkiller replied as he returned to the cantina. Then you will be the first, one of the Sithy retorted. The Sithy then walked back to the guard's desk, took out a piece of paper from the cantina's drawer, and wrote down the words, Sithy to Mune, on the back, placing it next to his own number on the door's locked lid. Sithy and the guard walked down to Mune's main door to begin their search of the cantina. Once inside, Starkiller was surprised to see that he had gotten 2 of his fellow Jedi with him. Knowing that he would only have a fraction of the bounty he planned to claim, Starkiller simply walked over and sat down next to the ladder. So where did you earn the nickname? Starkiller asked Mune. You can never tell, Mune replied. Well, I don't know what I will do until I go back to my planet and learn that people like I are the lucky ones. Well, I doubt that we could live without your assistance, Mune admitted. I will be more than eager to help, Starkiller confirmed as the Scythy started back inside. You could do that, the Scythy assured the guards, but I promise you will have to keep a low profile for the time being. After their conversation, Mune walked back out onto Mune's main deck of the hangar and proceeded down. End of story.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where that was. I mean, I'd like to know what happens a chapter or two before that.
So why I kept hitting more was because the prompt or the what they would give me would always end in the middle of a sentence.
Right.
So it always bugged me. So I kept going, hoping it would end at a end of a sentence. Even that I only stopped where I did because where it ended could be perceived as the end of a sentence, even though there's no period.
Okay.
So it's just like I needed more.
Yeah, I need more from there too.
Yeah. That gave me a real story.
Yeah, that
A
moon
real?
person.
A real
/
story.
Moon
Moon.
colony.
Just kept calling him Moon Colony.
Me.
Choppa, they like to, like, as soon as they can, just not deal with Choppa Natimo anymore.
They're like, we gotta get him out of here.
I was
Yeah.
like, I did one prompt where it was like, Jar Jar kissed George, and then it's like, and she was happy about it, and everything was hunky dory. By the way,
It's like Huckleberry Finn in some people's eyes, where it's like, or like even Tom Sawyer. It's just to some people, there's always going to be inherent racism there, so they just don't want to touch it, and that's how this thing feels about Chopin and Timo. It's like, he's not a great character that we want around. Let's get him out of here.
yeah, let's just mask him with somebody else. Let's make it a she and make her name something totally different.
Make her mean.
She's mean now.
Okay. You guys want to hear what that I have?
Yes, I do.
It's not great or anything, but it's fun. Okay. Han Solo tickled Chewbacca's feet and smiled wryly. Chewbacca's eyes flashed with amusement. So I'm sure you've read what I wrote the other day, but for reference, here's an excerpt from your new book, Star Wars: Secrets to Steal the Force.
What?
You must choose a new lightsaber for each fight. The blade is made from the body of the Force itself. It glows with the power of the Force, and it is never dulled. Never dull. That's it.
Wow, that's amazing. That's the perfect thing that Han Solo or Harrison Ford would do a commentary for.
I got one more here.
Yes.
I moored it one time just so it completed a thought, so it stopped
It's
there.
been moored, everybody.
Yep. So apparently, like, so my prompt was Jar Jar tickled his boober.
We both had tickling on the mind.
Yeah, tickling's funny.
And so the completed was Jar Jar tickled his boobery as he looked up at the ceiling. He wanted to know if this was really it. He needed a moment of privacy. It wasn't a moment of privacy. The silence was broken by the clang of the door being kicked in his face. The silence was broken by the clang of the door being kicked in his face. Once again, the two Jedi stepped through the door with one step forward. A dark green lightsaber had suddenly appeared out of nowhere in his peripheral vision. I do not need a Jedi blade to do my bidding, Master. Go. Yes, Master. Please. Jaune took the blade from the boy.
Jaune.
Jaune?
It's Jaune. It's like the best I could come up with this Jaune.
That's a perfect Star Wars name.
I thought it was like Jawn, like, hello, I'm
Jaune. Jaune took the blade from the boy. There wasn't a hint of pain on his side as he took it from him. The boy took the blade in one hand, his other hand extended in front of him, and grasped it tightly with both hands. The dark green hilt as sharp as a pair of scissors and seemed to be capable of cutting both metal and stone. End of story.
Wow.
Wow.
I want to hear more about Jaune.
Yeah, I want to know
Jedi
more about
Jaune.
Jaune.
Jaune is great. I love that name for a
Jaune
Jedi.
the Jedi.
Jaune. That's my next one here.
Fuck.
Jaune.
Jaune. How are you spelling Jaune?
Same as in the story. Jaune. Jaune.
Jaune.
Yeah, Jaune the Jedi took.
That sounds so forced. No pun intended.
Hilt. And
It's like we got to think of a name, a simple name like John. Oh, let's just call him Jaune. Let's just not say John.
Everybody walks out of the movie theater, like filing out of the theater. They're just talking about Jaune. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Did everybody have a stroke in there?
Jaune.
What is this movie? People having strokes walking out of it.
Yeah. Does everybody just not know how to pronounce the name?
Yeah, it's John. What do you?
Jaune.
Do I live in an alternate reality where John is mispronounced?
Jaune.
Jaune.
Oh, fucking
It's
Jaune.
first movie where the main character's name is Jaune.
Jaune.
And he's played by Owen
Revenge
Wilson.
of the Jaune.
He's played by Owen Wilson. Hi, my name's
Oh,
John.
I'm Jaune.
Wow.
Hi, my name's Jaune. Nice to meet you.
I'm John.
Oh,
Really, really great to be here. I thought I'd stop in,
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Jaune.
all right.
Ka-jown.
So my prompt was Jaune the Jedi took his hilt in hand and shook it vigorously.
Oh God.
So I moored it like once, I think. Jaune the Jedi took his hilt in hand and shook it vigorously. You're not afraid of me. Not at all. I'm the only one who should be afraid of me. If you
Okay.
wish, I'd be willing to fight for you too, but even then you would never do what I do.
Wow. Is he talking to himself?
Oh
in the
no,
mirror?
he gasped. That's all I could think of. You could do anything. What are you saying, Jaune? You want me to fight for you? I've been training for something for a long time, and I've seen what it takes to be strong, and this is the perfect opportunity. We could fight right here tonight. I understand. His hand was raised, a blade in its hand that looked like a falchion, whatever, and he walked forward, his pace quick. The crowd roared their approval, the lights turning blue and the crowd cheering in turn. A moment later, Jaune and Pyrrha stood before a pool of crimson that shone down onto the city. The city erupted in pain, the shadows closing over the dead or dying as if waiting for the death to arrive. No one moved, the screams of pain becoming as deep as the scream of joy at a victory. The sound of a siren faded from the sky. Weiss stood next to the pool of blood, a thin smile carved on her lips. It seemed too long since she'd last enjoyed her ice bath. She couldn't be sure of that. The heat.
The heat.
That's it.
The heat.
Nice.
Yeah, that turned out pretty cool.
Story ends on Arrakis.
What's
I like it.
what's Jaune's friend's name?
What do you
Jaune.
say, Jaune? You want me to fight for you? Pyrrha?
Until
Pyrrha.
Okay.
until Pyrrha is mentioned, I totally want that to just be a story of Jaune. Like there's
Talking to
Jaune,
himself.
the person, the Jedi, talking
Yeah.
to himself, his dark half, who is Jaune,
The Jaudi.
like, slightly different pronunciation. And
Like the
he's-
comic book clone of Luke, whose name was Luke.
oh, exactly.
That was a real thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But he's like schizophrenic or like half crazy. He's just
Yeah.
arguing with himself, but it's his real like half
It's like a
dark half.
Gollum situation.
He's like Travis Bickle.
Ooh.
Talking to
Jaune.
himself in
The
the mirror.
Jaudi.
He goes down to like some office of the Republic and just is creeping on this chick from outside in his speeder.
Yeah. That'd be great.
I saw you working in here. Yeah, you like movies?
You like movies? Want to go to a movie?
Yeah, you want to go to a movie? A movie with me, I mean.
I moored that story one more time because I was interested to see what the heat led to.
No.
Says the heat from the fire had melted her skin, leaving her skin as pale as a leaf. A few days had passed since her ice tub went up, and now she had a little something to fill it with. Ice cream that wasn't a drop of her blood.
What?
Yang stood in front of her, hands behind her back, a tray of ice cream scattered about her desk. At least at first she didn't realize it. In fact, Yang had no idea what she was doing.
So
Is
is there
that
a
it?
new character now? Ying?
Yang, apparently.
Okay.
Well, that one is interesting because it starts with skin being melted off, and then it ends.
Yeah.
It develops into an ice cream party very quickly.
Yeah, which is great.
'Cause-
I like that.
The paragraph that
It's
leads
certainly,
into the heat
like-
before it is Weiss stood next to the pool of blood, a thin smile carved on her lips. It seemed too long since she'd last enjoyed her ice bath. She couldn't be more sure of that. The heat from the fire had melted her skin, leaving her skin as... So that's where it started, right? So it started in that dark zone, but it just went to ice cream land for some reason.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It
Need
knew
some
that it was
breath-
dark, and it was
breath-
like, we got to turn this around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like Chopin and Notimo. We can't have them in here. We can't have things get this dark. Bring in the ice cream.
Bring the ice cream. After this skin gorging, we need ice cream. Come on. All right,
This will lighten up any story.
we'll be back with more Talk to Transformers Star Wars Edition. Bye, everybody.
But...
Bye.